Step off, hoser.
All right, welcome everybody that's out there watching this, past, present, or future. Welcome in. Yeah. We're going to be talking about a very interesting topic today. Now, we have a couple of people with us today. We have Stan Dahlin and Pirate Canvas here to chat with us about today's topic. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys. Start with Stan.
Hello, everybody. Stan Dahlin here, former convention owner, organizer, and a very good friend of Vic Mignogna, and a few other voice actors, which I will leave nameless, though they'll get blacklisted probably if
apparently
if they knew that they talked with me. But anyway.
All right, and Pirate.
I guess me.
Yeah.
I'm Pirate Canvas, PC. Everybody knows me as that, and yeah. I'm glad to be here.
Right on. So today's topic is something that just came literally out of the blue. Hello, DTG. How you doing? Welcome in. It literally, I mean, quite literally out of the blue. I was checking my Twitter DMs, and I see that Pirate Canvas had reached out to me, and it had a very important piece of information share. So you had shared a phone call with me that apparently happened back in 2023. Now, preamble to all of this, right? Because Stan was on the show last time, and we talked about the situation with Anime Matsuri and the situation with Maxie Whitehead, canceling on Anime Matsuri, and that was an entire fiasco. And that was bizarre because that came out of nowhere. She had reached out to Vic, from my understanding, to get invited to the show. Vic went out of his way to get the organizers to accommodate everything that she wanted to be at the show. And then at the very last minute, when they advertised, all of a sudden it was a big problem. And so this has obviously been something that's kind of like been in the background of things for like quite some time here. So imagine my surprise when I get a DM from Pirate here with a phone call from 2023. And this would have been happening right after Vic's appearance at Metrotham Con, when we actually got to hang out. The three of us actually got to hang out at Metrotham Con. I think that was pretty fun. And so I wanted to, because like I listened to the phone call, Stan's listened to the phone call, and like I'm personally like disgusted at what I heard. And I'm sure some of you that are watching now or in the future, you may have heard the call already, but we're gonna be listening to that a little bit later on. I want to give like a kind of a lead up into how we got here, because this is a very interesting story that I think is actually relevant to potentially relevant to what happened with Maxie. And so, Pirate, I want you to kind of explain how this stuff happened. So it was 2023. Vic just had a great show at Metrotham Con, and there's a lot of buzz about Full Metal Alchemist still, and all this stuff, obviously. And
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years.
I mean, it's a big year. I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really big deal because, I mean, as you all know, Full Metal Alchemist is, I would consider it probably one of the most important pieces of medium. It's one of the most important anime I would consider here in the West. Like, at least here in the West, it's one of the most important because, like, it aired on Adult Swim in 2003, I believe, early 2003, maybe late 2003. I'm not really sure.
It was old.
Like, and like that's primetime TV. And I mean, a lot of shows aired around that time, but for me, Full Metal Alchemist, you know, to me, it's one of the better shows in terms of storytelling. You know, and you know that's how I got to know Vic Mignogna and a bunch of other people. But nevertheless, I wanted to do, and this is sort of, I have to go through a timeline here.
Sure, yeah.
To kind of explain here. So my idea started early January to do it's sort of a big collage video, like it's a tribute video to Full Metal Alchemist, 20 years.
And this would have been in 2023, right? Just to, yeah.
Exactly.
There you go.
And I had emailed Vic about it,
Mhm.
and he said, "Well, right now I'm sort of busy at the moment, but he said I'd love to hear more." And I told him that I was going to be coming to Metrothicon, and we could discuss it there. And he said, "Okay." So that's what ended up happening. And you know, the idea of this project was mostly as just a love letter to Full Metal Alchemist
Mhm.
because it's one of my favorite anime series of all time. I mean, I got a tattoo of it. And it's important to me to celebrate it because I mean, it's a big part of my life, and I'm sure it's a big part of a lot of people's lives. And what better way than to try to get some of the voice actors that were part of it to sort of have like my idea was basically to have a collage of interviews, like asking them questions about production of the show,
Yeah.
asking them what their thoughts were when they read the scripts and everything, and what they thought of the characters, what they remembered the most about, production and everything, like just, something like that.
Right, of course.
And, I started going around and asking people who were involved in it. Obviously, I asked Chuck Huber. He was there at Metrothicon as well.
Mhm.
And, he, agreed. He said, I'd more than he was enthralled about it because like I think he was more enthralled about it than Vic was because I mean, like he's a big Full Metal Alchemist fan as well.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
he's a nerd. But so I had Vic, I had Chuck, and I try to get others involved, specifically Aaron Desmuke. Aaron Desmuke is the original voice of Alphonse Elric from the 2003 Full Metal. And just to clarify here, we're talking specifically about the 2003 adaptation of Full Metal Alchemist.
Right.
This was before Brotherhood. Brotherhood is basically more of, an adaptation of the manga, whereas 2003 Full Metal Alchemist, sort of its own thing.
We're talking like Dragon Ball Z versus Dragon Ball Super, like Dragon Ball Super or whatever, right?
Yeah. And well, the original manga wasn't finished when 2003 aired.
Right.
Like, so they had to basically come up with their own ending and everything. And that's why we got those two films, of Full Metal Alchemist. But nevertheless, um, I wanted to contact Aaron Desmuke and I had no way of getting a hold of him. And I didn't want to ask Vic. I mean, I don't like asking, I don't like asking voice actors how to get in contact with other voice actors.
Of course, yeah.
It's rude and disrespectful.
I'm gonna go through the
And
proper
so
channels, yeah.
I basically went through the proper channels. Obviously, he Twitter. I tried Twitter. Didn't work. But I noticed a link that he had for his talent agency. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can get a contact with him that way, you know. And I want to say this: I didn't bombard them or anything. I was completely professional about it, like I'm always when it comes to asking for interviews. And I basically, I sent them an email, and they responded. I got the email pulled up here.
Yeah, that was the first one was from Mindy. I think you showed.
Chris was the
Oh,
first.
Chris was the first one. Okay.
Chris was first. He asked me like who I was, and
Okay.
I explained to him who I was, and then he said, "Oh, I'm going to forward this to Mindy, who handles the interviews for us."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, cool. Just let me know." And then Mindy gets in contact with me, and at first she's like, I do have some questions for you before we can, get this ball on the road. I said, okay.
Mhm.
And one of the questions was, first the question was, about my channel and everything.
Right.
So I gave her all that information. And then she basically sent me an email back saying that, well, Aaron isn't going to be available at the moment, but I will let you know.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, just let me know what dates he would be available to do a stream with me, because he was at conventions and stuff.
Yeah,
He
of
had a
course.
lot going on, and that's also where I heard the rumor about him having some sort of lung infection.
Okay.
And I was very concerned about that. I thought that was maybe why he didn't want to do any interviews or anything, because but what ended up actually happening was he blew out his voice.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And but that was that was something else. But then she asked me, uh, she reached out again
Mhm.
and asked me if Vic Mignogna was going to be involved in this.
Interesting. Okay.
And I said, well, yeah, because it's because I explained to her what the project was. I said, yeah, he is going to be involved in this because, he was the voice of Edward Elric.
Right. Yeah.
And she said, well, I'm gonna have Chris contact you. And I said, well, right now I'm getting ready for a convention. Uh, and so it was right when I was at the convention, they emailed me back to tell me to call them.
Uh-huh.
It was
Interesting.
right after that, and they
Okay.
gave me their phone number to call, to call Chris.
Right.
It wasn't Mindy I talked to; it was Chris.
It's Chris. Yeah.
Yep, and that's how all that went. And at first, I was very hesitant to record because,
Mhm.
like, to me, it's like I get that feeling in my gut that this is gonna go off the rails. And if I didn't record this, then you know like because mostly I wanted to record it to archive it.
Of course.
That's the only reason. I wasn't actually, I mean, that's why I waited,
Yeah.
to to send it out, because originally I sent it to Squally
Right.
after that whole thing.
So before, and I'm sure this question is going to come up. So I
Yeah.
will address this right now. At the time, when you made this phone call, you were in a one party state, right?
Yeah.
That's,
Yes.
yeah. So for people who may be watching the future, or maybe in the chat right now, curious what that means, there are different laws about recording voice conversations across the United States, and it depends on where you are and where the person is. However, if you are in a two-party state, that means that you need to disclose that you're recording the phone call and that both parties agree that the phone call is being recorded. If you're in a one-party state, or a country or an area that is a one-party state, like one party, whatever, then as long as one person in that phone call is understanding and accepts the calls being recorded, they can record it without notifying the other party. And so, like where I live, it's a one party state notification. Like I live in Canada, my area, it's one party, and where Pirate was making the phone call from, it was one party. So Pirate being in that conversation gave himself the permission to record the phone call. It didn't need to notify the other party. So you can go ahead. Yep. I just wanted to clarify that.
But yeah. And I wasn't trying to harass them or anything. They told me to call them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I showed you the email where Chris said, "Hey PC, please give me a call at blah blah blah, so we could discuss this."
Yep.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. To answer your question there, Blight Blazer, it is dependent on the caller, because if the caller, two things. If the person calling is in a one party and they're recording, they don't have to notify the other person. If the person on the other end of the phone is in a two party and they're recording and they don't notify the other person, then that's a problem for them. So it's dependent on all parties in the conversation, but individual to each other. So it's a very finicky situation.
And I believe if I'm not mistaken, though, they are also in a one party state.
Okay.
Because Texas is a one-party state as well.
Okay, perfect. There you go.
I mean, there you go. Yeah. I mean, I gave myself
crossing your I's and dotting your T's. You're good.
So there you go. But I mean, I didn't have any malicious thing about this. The way I went about it, I only did this because I knew that this would probably be important if I kept it as an archive, and like I gave it to Squally. She was the one that put all the text there, fancy little text there.
Yep.
And I let her hold on to it, because I think she was gonna show it to Vic, and I think Vic did hear it, and I'll talk about his reaction from what Squally told me, in which she found it interesting. This call, she's like, this is interesting.
I thought it was interesting
because normally, like, because just the language that he was using.
Oh, it was
like just the language.
It was outrageous. Yeah. As someone who is like has talked level to level with guests and everything else, and members of the media and members of politicians and stuff like that, members of parliament and things like that. I've talked to very important people in many degrees of wearing different hats in my personal life, in my professional life, on my job, off my job. I cannot fathom what went through this man's head when he was having this conversation with you. But you can go ahead and continue. Yeah.
But basically what I was saying was, like, I was just dumbfounded because which at the time, I'll be honest with you guys, I had no clue about how conventions are ran, how anything goes at all.
Yeah.
Not until the next year that I went to MetroThamCon, that's when I sort of, I got the idea very quickly.
Yeah.
Because
conventions are a trip. Like Stan can definitely tell you about that too. They're a different level.
Yep. Yeah, particularly if you go from you're planning and organizing cons, especially in different locations, and you particularly get one location where everybody would love to go to, but for some reason they lack basic understanding as to you realize that this place is still in the United States and you don't need a passport to get there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because at that point, because I was just going to these events, I was going as a fan.
Yeah.
I had no clue like how all this was set up, and like how vendors and everything goes.
Oh yeah.
And I just sort of learned as I kept going to conventions and asking convention owners about it. How do you guys do this? How do you do that? It's like, because like I was amazed, honestly, like and you guys have the hardest work, like really
thankless job, let me tell you.
Because it is, because like you gotta deal with the guests, you got to and that's how I learned about guarantees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll get into some of that later, because I mean it sort of does, but I was gonna ask you though, Crumb, who were these people exactly?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Before we dive into the phone calls, we'll let some more people trickle in. So we're going to be listening to this conversation, which, again, I literally have no idea what went through this man's brain, that he thought this was okay to say.
Neither do I.
Good Lord. But, and
maybe he saw the writing on the wall for the company and he said, oh, what the hell?
He must have.
Did you know who this guy was, Stan?
I try to avoid agents as much as possible.
Honestly, it's easier
I was wondering,
dealing with third parties is the most. I mean, it's like pulling teeth.
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time.
Well, I was wondering because I mean, you've had Funimation guests and stuff like that. Like, how did you handle them? Like, did you have to talk to their agents and stuff?
Oh, a good number of them didn't have agents at the time.
Yeah.
Until before the lawsuit.
Oh wow.
Some of the I mean, it came in. I think it was part of the trial and the discovery that Funny said that they had also did their voice actors' appearance fees or actually organized that stuff, but they hadn't been doing it for very long.
Yeah.
So when I was dealing with them, I was dealing with them directly and not through Funimation. Anytime I dealt with a Funny rep, particularly when I was with Anime Week in Atlanta, they would give me an email and say, well, how long you guys been in business? And we say, well, it's been 12, 15 or some years. And how many attendees do you get? And I would give actual numbers. I wouldn't give these other crazy metrics that they love the other cons love to give out. Like Anime Expo loves Turnstile for some god ass reason.
It makes the numbers look really good.
Yeah, it does. It really doesn't mean crap.
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean crap.
I bet you were glad though that you got to actually just handle it through them instead of having to go through somebody else.
Yeah, because I had their contact information. I could talk to them, and they had my contact information. They could talk to me directly, and I didn't have to go through a third party. Because when you go by third party, you tell them one thing, and they end up telling their talent something totally different.
Absolutely.
That's what makes the whole thing with Maxi confusing to me. Like,
well, that's a totally different story because the agent refuted her story.
Yeah, the agent was like,
he was looking at her like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Exactly, exactly. And to answer Little Rocks in the chat here, our agents in the know about internal contracts the voice actors have with the company. If the voice actors share them, I would assume so. That'd probably be something that gets disclosed. If it's something like an NDA or something they can't share, then probably not. But I would assume that's all tied together. But it does tie together with our conversation because what I noticed when Pirate shared the emails with me was they were not from Funimation. These individuals that you spoke to were not Funimation employees. They were not employees of a convention. They were employees of a company called Conventions, etc. It's Conventions, etc. Which doing very surface level digging on this company because their website's atrocious, and apparently, all of the conversations surrounding this company or whatever have long been lost to the internet winds. Because they all exist on websites that are defunct now. So getting details about the company has been very light outside of their really bad website. But from what I could gather, and from what Google had scrounged together to gather about conventions, etc., and their connection to Funimation, was that apparently around that time, the 2023 timeline. I don't know for how long or like how long the relationship was, but Funimation went through conventions, etc., because they didn't, instead of sending a bunch of Funimation employees to conventions to sell merchandise. We're talking about going there and selling DVDs, selling merchandise, etc. like that. They contracted conventions, etc., to be their storefront at conventions. And this was a relationship that happened for a long time. And from what I could gather, it was not, Funimation did not have authority over conventions, etc. They were not like direct affiliates, but they were like business partners. It's not like they were contracted through to work for them. And so imagine my surprise when I'm reading this, and it's like, okay, well, it makes sense because, like, all right, so Funimation doesn't want to jet their employees across the country. Why not tap this company that provides this service, like the logistics service, that they have people all over the country, that they do this already, and why not? Like, why not just send them the merchandise instead, and then they can sell it on your behalf, and then there you go. They manage your people while they're there. Basically, it's like they have like groups of people all over the country that go to conventions. They set the vendor space, the big shiny vendor space, like premium vendor space. They sell your shit. They assign people, like they have their people to sit with your voice actors to sell their shit and all that stuff. This is basically what the company does, from what I understand. And aside from that, at least right now on the website, the company has a voice actor list as well, so you can also rent out voice actors through them, through their little side talent agency as well. And so from what Pirate Canvas is saying here, is that the original voice actor for Alphonse Elric, his agent was a part of conventions, etc. And this is who Pirate was speaking to, which made this entire situation really, really interesting for the content of the phone call.
Oh yeah.
So
because I mean, I was just dumbfounded because it's like, you know, like you told me stuff that I already know, obviously, because they were asking me if I know Vic's history, like I showed you, like you know, in the email they were telling me, have you looked into Vic's history to see why that would be difficult to have a FMA reunion?
yeah, that was a weird one. That was really weird.
Like, yeah, because I have him involved.
Yeah. It was really, really strange. So
I would say, yeah, no, I don't see any problem with this.
So, and if it was surface level like that, right, it would be like, okay, you know what, fine, cool. But what we're going to be listening to, it goes deeper than just have you looked into things. So I think it's a good segue into listening to this phone call. I think it's a good segue. Let me pull this up here. I'm going to pull this video over here. I'm going to share this in the Discord call here, guys. And then we can listen to it together.
Oh boy, I get to hear my voice.
You do. You might hear it a couple of times. Hopefully not, but maybe. So if you guys can't hear it, I'm going to start it up. Let me know if you can't hear it. But yeah, so we're going to listen to this phone call. I might stop it a few times because my brain will literally explode at a few points during this call. So bear with me. Because we're going to discuss it. We're going to discuss it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so here we go. So this was a phone call that took place in 2023, right after MetrothemCon. I'm gonna explode. I tell you, Blade Blazer. I'm gonna tell you. All right, here it goes.
Hello. Is this Chris?
Yep.
You guys hear it? Okay.
Hi, this is PC.
Very low.
Shitty microphone.
I just got your email. Sorry about that. I've been at a convention all weekend and still a little bit tired.
You're good.
I was.
Yeah, I wanted to explain more. Explain more about when Wendy said. Wendy. What Mindy said.
Mindy.
And just kind of go over it a little bit more. So, are you aware of what happened with Vic? Was it two?
Yeah, I am.
Are you aware of what happened with Vic 4 years ago?
Yes, I am.
So, you're aware that he basically sued Funimation?
Yes, I am.
So,
I'm fully aware of the case.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why what Mindy said was it would be hard to get a reunion together is because if you think about it, he sued Funimation, and in turn he sued the employees of Funimation. So one of the reasons why it would be difficult to get those actors together is because I would think that Funimation would want those actors involved in an event with him or appear at an event with him in any capacity. That's one of the reasons why we said that.
Oh yeah, I mean I can definitely understand that, but I just wanted to say this though. I mean I spoke with Vic about this because he was at the convention I was recently at, and I talked to him about a project where if somehow we could do like a collage of interviews. I mean, it doesn't have to be together. I mean, it could be all individual interviews from the original cast of Full Metal Alchemist, the original 2003 Full Metal Alchemist, because, I mean, this is big. I mean, it's been 20 years. I mean, which I know that's a long time. I mean, I feel old just thinking about it, and and I just wanted to do something for the fans because they don't deserve to suffer for this. I mean,
yeah. So I don't. So I totally get it. I watched Full Metal when I was in high school. So it ended in 2003. So end of high school, early college. So I know I was a fan of Full Metal. I'm in the same boat. I totally understand. But once actors find out that they are involved with a project with them, it's not going to be good. And so, the other thing too is, I understand that he was never under investigation for his actions. He was sued. He sued them for defamation, and he lost. But I understand that he was never sued for his he never had he was never. There was never a criminal trial for his actions for sexual assault, abuse, whatever. But there has been an internal investigation that was done in Funimation, so they have more information than we do, and also for the fact that those actors have their own stories, and they have their own events as to what happened with it. They have their own opinions. They all have something that happened. They have a friend that might have been affected, so it goes much more than that. There are people that were friends with him before,
right,
and are no longer friends now.
All right, I'm gonna pause that there for a second, because what the fuck? What the fuck, folks?
Yeah.
So there's so much to unpack. Number one, this guy sounds like he has a loaded fucking shotgun on the back of his head.
Yeah.
Like he
like
is
he's reading off of something.
He sounds like he is so fucking nervous on this phone call. Number two, I love, and this is going to be a point of contention in the call. If that Vic lost a lawsuit, blah 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 blah. That's not a point that needs to be discussed. Whether whether it was dismissed or whether it was he lost or whether he didn't win or whatever, that literally doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because we never got a trial. We never got the fucking evidence weighed and tried and whatever else, and we never got it. From a layman's perspective, people thought he lost. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's literally a moot point. It's been discussed for freaking a decade at this point. But basically, we got robbed, and I literally talked about this with Ron Toye on my fucking podcast while the case was still going on. About like, don't you want this to go to trial? Don't you want this to like get like weighed by a judge and have an official ruling and have something you can point to? And he didn't care. he didn't care. He just wanted money. So like, it's not about weighing the evidence or like making things like it's one way or the other. We can see the results of it here. We can see the results of it. It's just, well, he lost. Yeah. He lost. Well, you know, he never, he never, like, he didn't have a lawsuit. No, you know, of course he fucking didn't. He got robbed, whether you agree with it or not. But like he's like, and he also lied because he said that Funimation did their own investigation and we don't know the details. Yes, we fucking do.
Yeah.
Yes, we fucking do. It's in the fucking case. Literally the entirety of it. You can go back into the quote unquote like investigation that Funimation did that they turned over to the judge in their case files. It literally is spelled out the exact situations, the exact beginning and end, everyone they talk to, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's laid out. The entire start to finish, all of the emails that were sent, it's all there. We saw everything.
Yep.
So there is no, well, we don't know what their information is. That is the fucking biggest disingenuous pile of shit I have ever heard.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's like, you know, why are you telling me this? I know this. You know,
Yeah.
It's like I already know the results of the case. I know everything about the case. Why are you telling me this? And the interesting thing about it was, oh, he sued Funimation and the employees of Funimation. Like that wording right there, that wording, employees of Funimation.
Yeah, employees of Funimation.
They're independent contractors.
Yeah, Funimation tried to throw them under the bus saying, oh, they're just independent contractors. They're not actually employees.
Yeah, but you know, for the early part of the phone call, he is dead set on that you're trying to bring all these actors under one roof, interview them all together,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, you know, you've said this a couple of times that no, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm doing individual interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would be
and
all in
it
the live
still wasn't
stream.
registering, and that's when he went into the lawsuit, and I'm like, okay.
Because like what this is, and so number one, like and pardon what I'm about to say, Pirate. It's not meant offensively because I view myself in the same boat. You're a nobody in the grand scheme of things. I'm a nobody. Even though because of me, Funimation sent out an internal memo telling people to verify who they talk to beforehand and don't talk to any old journalists on the internet. Don't mind me. Like we're nobodies in the grand scheme of things. Like we're just literal people on the internet.
There's a saying though in the industry though that, you know, like if we're gonna be nobodies, we gotta be nobodies in style.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. That's why your Link got those glasses on, I see.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, why is he saying this to you? Like you're a member of the general public for all intents and purposes.
Yes.
You're a person in the general public. Why is he going out of his way to say this to somebody? Like, well, you know, Vic lost the case. You know, blah 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 blah. People have stories. People have friends, and their friends might be affected.
Yeah.
Like, bro, are you made of fucking sugar? Can you go outside when it's damp? Like,
I mean, I'll get more into this, by the way, afterwards, because I do want to talk about Vic's initial reaction after listening to this, because you know, Squally did share this with him, and he knows about the phone call, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, that's good. Well, we'll continue it because we still got about 9 minutes left to this. Like 8.5 minutes left to this.
Do I have to listen to myself?
Yeah, not at the end. We'll skip the end part.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll continue.
Good.
Right.
You know, it was a huge thing that happened, you know, all over the news. You know, everybody was involved, and so
Everybody.
It does suck. I understand. You know, I agree. It's tough for those fans of Full Metal that aren't going to be able to do anything. But you know, he still does conventions. You know, he does. You know, he was at Metro Tham. He does all sorts of conventions. There are actors that appear with him. There's some that don't.
Yeah, all sorts.
That's the way. That's the way that you're going to get. You know, you're going to get to meet him and get an autograph from him. And
I got to pause it here again. I'm sorry. This is going to happen. This is going to happen a lot. He's acting like you're doing this to get autographs from Vic Mignogna. Like,
Which I already got.
you literally open up saying, like, I literally had a conversation with him at the convention he was at. Like, well, you can go to all these events and blah, 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 blah. You can go get autographs from him from all these other, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not, like, I don't know what this guy, like, what brand of cocaine this man sniffed before calling you. But, like, this is, oh my gosh. Like, my brain.
Torture,
My
I
brain.
know. Yeah.
My brain. All right, we'll continue.
and be able to, you know, experience him, you know, is that way. It's not going to be able to do it, you know, with the rest of the actors.
I can understand that.
The truth of it.
I mean,
And it's not my opinion. It's not Mindy's opinion.
It's not their opinion, guys.
It's
Their opinion.
Not their
It's a
opinion.
hard fact, yeah.
oh yeah, I
Oh, yeah,
mean,
hard
I
facts.
get that.
It's a hard
I
fact.
totally understand that. And you know,
Hard fact.
my idea for the project, it wasn't to get them all together. I mean, not like in the same room or anything like that. I wanted like to just interview them separately, you know, and make like a collage of interviews, like a collab of interviews, like all together. It was going to be like a 4-hour.
I have to interrupt you. Your past self here. I don't know if people caught that. The reason why I was reacting to his stupid fucking comment there, before you start talking, but there's a woman in the background that said hard fact. And then he repeated hard fact. Like, what? Hard fact about what? You've been fucking lying for fucking 5 straight minutes, my man. Like, hard fact. Christ. All right. We'll continue.
4-hour video. I mean, because I know I can't get access to every voice actor, and probably some of them probably even retired by then. I'm not really 100% sure about that, but I do wanted to get some of the main players. And not just that, I'm trying to get in contact with the original creator of Full Metal Alchemist. And that's the big thing for me, because I know she had a lot of input into how, you know, the series was going to go and everything. I'm sure of it. I mean, that's based on her manga. But
Can we pause it real quick?
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, go ahead.
So about this, you know, about the original creator. So I do have connections, by the way. I was trying to get in touch with her, with the original creator of the Full Metal Alchemist manga. And, you know, cause Mark got me in contact with some people in Japan that, you know, that worked with, you know, the publisher.
That's awesome.
You know, and unfortunately,
Mark
I didn't
was
hear anything back from
the owner of Metrotham Con.
Metrotham Con.
Yeah, just want to make sure for people out there that don't
So
know.
he got me in contact with the publishers, and I never heard back from him.
That's unfortunate.
So, yeah. But that was gonna be the idea for it. This was just gonna be a complete love letter for it, because I've heard. I mean, this is just from what I've heard. You know, that she had a hand in picking out the voices for the characters. I've heard that. It's a rumor, but yeah, I wanted her to get involved in this.
All right, we'll continue.
I wanted to do this. I mean, it's to celebrate 20 years, and not just that. I mean, like, yes, all this stuff about Vic, yes, it happened, and it's unfortunate, but it shouldn't be about that. It should be about just coming together, celebrating Full Metal Alchemist, and nothing else. Like I told Mindy, I mean, it's not about Vic.
It shouldn't
I mean,
be.
yes, Vic was part of Full Metal Alchemist.
Shouldn't be about him.
He was the main character, and that's something that's never going to change no matter what. But I mean, I would like to, if possible, maybe. I mean, I know Aaron is going to be at Yamacon this year.
Yep, he was.
And I heard I don't mean to get off track with the conversation here, but some people have told me that Aaron is not doing so well. Like he's been having some lung issues, and that kind of concerns me a bit.
Yeah, I've never heard any of that before.
Yeah, that's what people have told me. That's why he hasn't been doing a lot of voice acting. But
I've never heard any of that before. He did, earlier
was the
in
one that told me
the
about
year, or was it last year? I think he did have he lost his voice for a little bit.
that's probably what they were telling me.
Fine.
Okay,
He's fine.
he's good. Okay, but that's what I was thinking. Maybe if I could come to Yamacon and talk to him, if that's all right.
That would probably be not a good idea. And that involves any actor. Like, so it's I understand what you keep saying. You keep saying it's not this is not about Vic. It's about Full Metal.
Yeah, I'm going to pause it real quick. One disclaimer I want to say: don't talk to these voice actors because they're fucking lunatics. Largely, they're just fucking lunatics.
That's what I learned.
Unfortunately, and Pirate, I understand that your innocence behind the request. But I'm laughing at this guy's response to you. don't talk to the voice actors.
It's like a threat.
Not a good idea.
It sounds like he's threatening me.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. You know, you're gonna have the Funimation mafia at your door.
Throw you out of the convention.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, just pay your money, shut up, and walk away. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, like that's what gets me with like all this. It's like who are you to tell them they can't do this?
Yeah, like you can't stop people from going and talking to them, and it's the VAs will handle it professionally, probably. For the most part, they'll probably not enjoy it, but they're paid to sit there and deal with people they don't enjoy most of the day, so it's part of the job.
Particularly if you had gone through, made arrangements with the convention, and say, can I request a media pass or get a interview time with one of your guests? And they only
already
say
went to
yes.
those channels.
So they would say yes.
I'm friends with the owner of Yamacon.
Yeah,
and he said if I wanted to interview anybody, I'm free to do so.
And like honestly, my rule of thumb when I have people on the show to interview, generally, unless they've been on the show before and we have a rapport. If you're brand new and I bring you on, I'll ask you is there any topic that's a no touch situation? Because I've had voice actors on. I'm like, is there any topics that you like? It's a no go, and I will not go there. And they'll blatantly say it's like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this person. I don't want to be associated with that. Okay, no problem. We'll talk about whatever else. It's like, and that's literally the only conversation that needs to take place. And it's like, I'm not going to stick a microphone in someone's face and be like, tell me all you know about Vic Mignogna. Tell me, where were you on this night? Like, the fuck do they think you're going to do? Like, the hell's wrong with these people?
Where were you when he ate that jelly?
Yeah, exactly. Where were you when you... Did you see this happen? Did you see? Were you friends with the twins? Tell me. Tell me the details. Fucking Christ.
Oh, Lord.
All right, we'll continue on this lunatic's tirade here.
It's all about that. Like, this is why you haven't seen any other convention try to do this. They haven't tried to do anything virtual. They haven't tried to put
other conventions
Full Metal
tried,
Alchemist together because the actors won't do it. They won't do it.
I'm pausing there for a second because that's a lie.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
calling bullshit on that.
Yeah, that's a fucking lie. Conventions, quote unquote, won't do it because conventions are more risk averse than a fucking conservative in church on Sunday. They will 100% not take risks. Even if it's the tiniest ass risk, most conventions will just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go for the easiest money. That's literally it. Like that's why conventions don't do anything quote unquote risky sometimes, is because like they will just like 100% just be like, all right, well, this is the easiest route we're gonna go, and we're gonna avoid anything hard. The actors 1000% would do it. 1000% they would do it.
Yeah, and not just that. I mean, there have been conventions that have done it only without Vic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the thing right there. They have done it.
Again, it's the easiest route, right? It's the least risk for them. They can have all these people together. They don't have Vic in there, and then they like, oh, everyone's happy, right? Quote unquote, everyone. Just the weirdos on Twitter won't screech about it, I guess. But like, why is that? It's like, if people are wondering, well, why haven't conventions tried this before? It's because they're literally the most risk averse. Like, if we're talking like how a bubble is fragile, that is like the psyche of a lot of convention owners. They will not do anything even remotely close to being controversial. Majority of them, because big corporate, what have you. Independent conventions, like when we ran Kitchener Comic Con, like Metrotham Con, etc., those types of conventions, Anime Matsuri has their share of controversies too, but they understand if you put a product out that people want to see, people will go. People may bitch, people may whine, they may post mean things online, but they'll still show up with money in hand.
Mm-hmm.
They will still show up and pay you to take the product because they want the product. That's the way that it goes. I don't know why conventions haven't figured that out yet. I mean, Hasbro's been doing it with Magic the Gathering forever. Nintendo's been doing it with Pokemon forever. Like, people will bitch and whine about the product, but they'll still fucking line up and pay for it.
Oh, yeah. And especially a Full Metal Alchemist reunion.
Absolutely.
Take my money.
Right? And they would. But they don't want to do it. All right, I'll continue on.
He sued the company.
Sued the company.
There's actors that work for the company. At the company would probably not like those actors
here
that
comes.
are employees of this company to appear at an event or be involved in an event with them. That's one issue.
That's one issue.
The other issue is we don't know what happened.
No.
All we know is that he sued that company for defamation. He sued Monica and Jamie, whatever, for defamation.
I thought that was okay. I thought that was the first point. Number one, he sued. And I think the company, because he sued. I don't think the company wants the employees to operate with him. And point number two, he sued for defamation. Bro, it's the same cue card, buddy. You're reading the same one.
Did he drink bleach before he called me?
Bruh.
No.
Bruh.
I'm sorry.
I'm dead serious. Like, I when I listened to this, my jaw was on the floor the whole time. The jaw was on the fucking floor. Oh, we don't know what happened. Okay, then why? If we don't know what happened, 7 years later, why are we still bringing it up? We don't know what happened.
It's not like there was like it's a written record of that. Oh, wait.
We don't know what happened. We don't know what happened, but we're going to continue persecuting this person for something that we don't even know happened or not. Well, but he sued people and he lost, but we don't know what happened. But he sued people. Okay, so now we have the third party company who's clearly reading a fucking teleprompter on that particular piece of information. There's some sort of fucking memo that went out. We'll never see it. but he clearly read that off a fucking piece of paper, where he's saying that Funimation doesn't want their voice actors working with someone who sued them, which was very interesting. So that's a memo that was sent out. Don't work with this person. We're not allowing you to work with this person because he sued the company. That doesn't sound like a level-headed response. That doesn't sound like some the people that are doing it because we have.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Hello? I think we lost Crumb. Oh no.
Chris
Oh,
went
no.
robo and then was gone.
Am I back?
No, you're
I
back.
think you are. You're
Okay.
All right, I'm back. That does not.
You roboed.
It's the Funimation Mafia. And they're in my computer. They're here. Watch out, guys. It's real. So the whole point, again, we've talked about this before, and this is like vindication for a lot of stuff that we talked about before. This lawsuit was never about correcting or like addressing the things, whatever else. It was 100% about punishing Vic.
Mm-hmm.
It was 100% about punishing Vic and continuously punishing Vic and forever punishing Vic. There was never a fucking road where Vic, if he was just quiet and he just went away for a couple of years and came back, and then we just took all of his roles and took all of his job. Then he could just have it. He could have a career again. That was
Or
never
him going
happened.
to therapy.
Right?
Or him going to therapy and getting help and
Yeah,
this
exactly.
and that, because he because that was something that they mentioned, oh, he needs to go to therapy. If he goes to therapy, maybe he could save his career.
Exactly. No, we don't know what happened, guys. We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
All right. Let's listen to the more bangers here from Chris. This is not Chris Sabat, by the way. I understand this may seem, because he's acting like a complete lunatic, it may seem like he's the same. He just shares the first name with the other one, but no, this is Chris from conventions, etc. So, continuing on.
A lot of information was revealed in that.
Yeah, but we
I
don't
don't remember because it's been a while now.
We don't know anything.
But yeah, and so he was never charged with anything.
Sure was not.
But there's things that very well could have happened.
Oh.
And he was never charged, but those things are it impacts your life.
Oh, yeah.
It changes you as a person.
Things that never happened impact your
it
life.
rocks you to your core.
What were those things?
What were those things?
There's a number of things that probably did happen.
Now they probably did happen.
Somebody can't be involved with something like that. And
okay, so we went from we don't know if it happened to we don't know what happened. We have no information about what happened to, well, some of these things that probably could have happened. It really rocks you to your core. What in the fuck are we talking about here?
That's when my brain just turned off, like, at that moment. Like, it's like, because I'm trying to process what he's saying to me, but it's like...
Like...
You're like, huh?
We literally had a fucking voice actor dropping hard R's on Facebook, talking about how he wants to sodomize a fucking minor.
Mm-hmm.
In writing. Fucking searchable on Facebook, you could see it. But we're not outraged about that. We're outraged about some theoretical, maybe this could have happened, and the thought of it happening, that rocks me to my core. I can't possibly associate with someone that could possibly maybe did something.
Mm-hmm. One with evidence, one with no evidence. Ooh. Let's go with the one with no evidence.
Let's this is the hill we are going to die on. That, well, we don't know anything. We don't know if anything happened, and there was never a trial, and there was never any charges. But things could have possibly happened, and if those things happened, well, we just can't associate with someone like that.
They had to have given him a big check for this. I'm sorry. That's what's going on in my mind. It's like,
This
like,
is
could
so
any rational person honestly think this way?
this is so outrageous. And he's just openly saying this to someone, a member of the general public.
Yep.
Fuck me, man. All right, there's only a few minutes left, so we'll try and slug through this.
Yep.
That's number two. That's
number
another
two.
reason why it can't happen. And yes, it sucks for the fans, that aren't able to fully enjoy it. But that's just how it is. Like, there's because of because of one person's bad action, it's affecting everything. And
one person's bad actions that may or may not have happened.
Right.
Right.
Well,
the actors are not going to like if they are asked to do a documentary, an anniversary special for Full Metal, and come to find out that Vic was included. They aren't going to like that.
Why?
And,
Why?
And the actors don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about anything. They don't want his name brought up. They don't want to say anything about him. They they just want to forget about it, and they just want to move on.
Can't
Right.
do it if Vic is involved.
Okay.
If Vic's name is mentioned, oh my god.
So here's a fun fact. I was flown out to Hollywood one time to be on a TV show, be on a ghost story TV show, because I used to do paranormal investigations. Fun fact about like some crumb lore here. So I was flown out to Hollywood to talk about one of our investigations that we had locally here, and we were signed a waiver saying that they could use the footage how we saw fit. Blah blah blah. They paid us whatever else, gave us a hotel for the weekend, whatever else. Cool, awesome. Part of that is that we don't have any qualms with stuff that they make us say or ways they present things for us. And so when it came to air, because we have no say as to what they put on the air, what they put to air was not what we presented to them. They hammed it, like they added evidence into the video. They changed so when they were interviewing us, we got interviewed for like an hour apiece, and they cut up voice clips of us to say stuff that we weren't saying. But that's what it is. That's Hollywood. We're talking about a documentary where you're literally going to just be grabbing these interviews. It's like they're treating it like they would do it themselves, right? It's like they're treating it like you're going to go in there and like cut up these voice actors' interviews to say that they support and love Vic Mignogna. Like you're just going in there and you just want to get their reaction about Full Metal and make it about Full Metal Alchemist.
Mm-hmm. That's it, pretty much.
That's literally it. Like,
Considering when they were working on this thing, they were by themselves. They weren't all in the same room working together. So
no,
this is stupid.
It's so asinine.
Yeah, it is.
It's so asinine.
I mean, if they wanted compensation or anything, I would have offered it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's the funny part is they will take your money.
Yep.
So if someone takes your money, they don't get to tell you how you can do whatever you're doing. You take their interview, you make the fucking video. They don't have to fucking watch it. Like the fact that there's like this weird, well, the voice actors aren't going to like if you. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? It ain't about them. It's not about Vic. It's not about them. It's about content for the fans who put them in that spot and put them on that fucking pedestal. That's who it's for. That's who it's about. It should not be about your little personal drama. Clearly, there is a long-term fucking, like he said, 4 years ago at this point. Did you hear about the thing that happened to Vic 4 years ago? 4 years ago by this phone call.
And the lawsuit had just ended around that time.
Yep, sure did.
Well, it didn't end, but it just
never took off. It never proceeded. And so 4 years of this bullshit. where everything got dragged out in the open, and we're acting like we have fucking blinders on, like no one knew, no one had access to this information. Everyone did. I'm gonna talk about, well, they won't be very happy if you make a video about it. Who the fuck cares about them? It ain't about them. It's about their fans.
Well, to them, it's about them.
Sure is. I think we have, we're probably coming up on the end of this here, so we'll just run through it, and then we'll have more discussion.
So it sucks. I know it sucks. But
It sucks.
that's just how it is.
Right, I understand that. Thank you for talking to me, Chris.
It's no problem at all, and again, it's not my opinion.
It's not my opinion.
It's not Mindy's
He has
opinion.
to make that
That's why. That's why Mindy said it the way she did. Is because we were hoping that you would infer what she was saying from that. And
we were
say,
hoping that
okay, this is probably not.
you
not
catch by the inflection
Right.
of my voice and the
Well,
fact that I'm that I'm blinking constantly, that I have a shotgun at the back of my head.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from, though. I do. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope you have a great day. Yeah.
And I'll add to when I first met him, I was, I was overjoyed. I love Full Metal.
Mr. Shit Sandwich
he was
here.
huge to me, and that meant a lot to me when I first met him. So I'm a fan as well. So
Right.
but hopefully all that makes sense, and I'm sorry, but
I understand. I get it. I completely get it. You have a wonderful day, okay?
you as well. Thank you.
All right, and that's the end of Chris's segment. All right. There you go, folks. Some of you may have already heard the phone call in its entirety. If you want to listen to it unimpeached without my commentary, it is on Pirate Canvas's Twitter. You can go and check it out.
Yeah.
And listen in to yourselves. I'm fucking beside myself.
Jeez.
I was like, after that call, I was like, what the fuck did I just listen to? Like, I the reason I was, like, I understand, I get it, because like he's just talking. I just let him talk.
Yeah.
Yep, you sure did. You gave him rope and he hanged himself.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. I gave him the rope to hang himself.
We don't know what happened.
He wasn't listening. He was not listening to what you were saying.
No.
Mm-hmm.
He was very clearly hammering out talking points. He was speaking what I want to talk to you guys about, just very briefly. And this is kind of what I wanted to say before, but I was holding off. I wanted to loop this back to this point. Is when you are in, this is something you learn in customer service too, because regardless of people are allowed to record you or not, or they tell you they're recording you or not, you're going to be recorded. Like that's just that's just a fact. So when you're talking, and it's a great rule for life in general. All my little Eevees out there watching, this is a lesson for you too. It's a great rule in life. When you're talking and when you're operating, operate like you are never in a private situation. Always assume that someone's watching. Always assume someone's recording what you say. Always speak with intent, and you never regret anything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
If you mean what you say, you back it up, and you always say what you always are intent in the way that you say things, you never have anything to answer for. Because if someone says, well, you said this, well, fucking right, I did. Yes, absolutely, I did. I will stand on business 100% of the time. And I can tell in the way that he was talking in that phone call to you, he wasn't talking to you. He was PR talking, like he knew or he assumed that it was being recorded, so he needed to get certain points out, right? He needed to cover. Well, you can go and see Vic and get autographs at conventions. Vic goes to plenty of conventions. You don't need to worry about that. You can get his autograph anytime. You literally never said that you wanted his autograph. You literally said you were at a convention with him. These are all talking points coming from something, and it's not coming from conventions, etc. Because who the fuck were they? It ain't coming from them. food for thought. Food for thought. He made sure he hammered out his talking points throughout the entire call. And he said a lot of really fucking weird things in there too. Well, we don't. Funimation had their investigation, and we don't have that information though. Yes, we do. But we don't know what happened. But we don't know if anything happened. Maybe something didn't happen, but maybe something did happen, and maybe that something that happened was really terrible, and we can't associate with that. It just shakes me to my core to think about. I'm sure you lost sleep over that, Chris.
Maybe they had a slumber party and he wasn't invited to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't invited to the pajama party. Oh, that's too
You didn't
bad.
get to the pajama party. Like DTG, it goes for literally any interaction. Like I will say this, like, never assume privacy, period. And like if you just adopt that to your life, you'll find like your entire interaction with people is like 10,000 times better.
Yeah.
Because like you will certainly have privacy in certain situations. However, if you just assume that you never have privacy, then you never need to worry about being exposed or whatever else. Because you always are doing what you mean to do. You say what you mean to say. You won't have regrets.
And the thing about, you know, when you're being recorded, like, I mean, when you're on the phone with anybody, I mean, like if you're doing a job, even like you brought up the, you know, call service.
Yep.
The thing about it, the reason why they record phone calls most of the time is for quality assurance.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons.
Yep. Well, it's because
So
people lie.
they could tell.
People.
They could tell, like, just the way you carry yourself through a call, and the way he was carrying out, like, it just like unnatural. Like he sounded robotic.
He sounded like he was
did.
reading from a fucking script.
Yeah, or a script.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Because let me tell you, I worked in a call center for about 10 years, like nearly 10 years. I've worked in customer service pretty much my entire working life.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Same.
These podcasts that I do, like I know some people love to do like I'm going to script this out. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. People can pick up on that. People will know when you're reading off a script or you're reading off a teleprompter. Look at a politician doing a speech. You tell right away. But like, I don't script anything. Like literally just sat down here 5 minutes beforehand. I'm like, okay, guys, this is how we're going to handle this. Like, I don't have a script written up. I don't have any thought process of like my reactions, and it's all genuine. And like that's a lot of many years of training my brain to come up with those situations on the fly, right? You have to come up with that, because when you're on customer service, you can say something and then because you're saying it to like either appease somebody or you're like not genuine about it or whatever. But that is like, it's in fucking law. Like that's the letter from that point forward. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you know, I could give you a 20% discount, even though there's no 20% discount. Well, now the customer's expecting the 20% discount. If you don't do it, well, now you go back, they have the recording of it. Now you have to do it. Now you're on the hook for it. But that's like anything in life. If you say something you don't mean, and it's being witnessed, it's being recorded, it's being whatever, then you're held to that standard. But if you say stuff that you mean all the time, you train your brain to do that, it just comes out naturally. It's much more natural that way. And it's a great skill to have at jobs and whatever else. Go ahead.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Exactly. 100% of the time. It's the best way to live. I'm telling you right now, it changed my life when I learned that skill for the better, because like you stop bullshitting people, you stop appeasing people, you are flat out. And it will serve you as a massive skill in your life. There's other skills that you can pair it with too. But at the end of the day, you don't sound like a raving lunatic bouncing between shit. Like, but he sued Funimation. That's number one. And number two, well, we don't have any details, but number two, he sued Funimation. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Hello, Sailor Luna. Hello.
And I wanted to actually, I honestly did want to rebuttal him, but the reason I didn't rebuttal him was because, like, you know, like the thing about it for me is I wanted him to talk.
Absolutely.
I wanted him to tell
Yeah.
me, you know, without interrupting him. I never interrupted him. And
No, you
people
were fine.
will, like,
He-
if I
he-
rebutted him, people then would say, "Oh, look
He-
what he's doing. He's just, he's
He was
putting
cutting
him
you
on the
off
spot."
several times.
Yeah, well,
He was trying to talk over
people
you.
people were basically trying to say that I harassed them
No,
and
absolutely
this and
not.
that. Like, I did not.
Absolutely not.
Like, I was respectful.
Yeah.
I just, I let them talk.
Yeah. You let him
That
get out
doesn't
his.
sound like I was harassing them.
You let him get
See,
out his
that was your
corporate
problem.
mandated.
You were too polite.
Yeah.
That's that's violence
Yeah, I
to some
am.
of these people.
You were too Canadian. How dare you?
I'm polite
It's
because
my
that's
stick.
how I was raised.
It's my shtick. How dare you impeach my. No.
It's just it's a Southern thing. I'm sorry.
I feel it. I feel it. No, like you were fine. You were like, and it's like as someone who's been manager in a call center, I've had to evaluate agents on the phone call. You were perfectly fine that entire time. You were courteous. You paused. You gave him plenty of time to talk. You didn't talk over him, and he was trying to cut you off. Like this is a complete fucking reverse of how it should be, by the way, because he is the business and you are the customer, effectively. For people who are working in the call center, take notes of what Pirate Canvas was doing here, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. When they start talking, you shut up. You don't talk. You don't cut them off. You don't interject. You wait until they stop, and then you can have you can talk to them. Because when people are talking, they're not listening to you.
What? Right. I was gonna say, but I was thinking, like, how does he know though? Like that's how they honestly feel about this whole situation. Like that's what got me. Like just the way he was saying, like he was speaking for them.
Mm-hmm. And that's really what caught me off guard about this entire phone call. Like the tone of it, whatever else. Okay, sure, like being like, well, it might not be a good idea, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. But the whole well, Funimation doesn't want its employees to be, that's not a good idea. Funimation, they got sued. I don't think they want people to be associating with that, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's a good idea for you to talk to these people. They're independent contractors. They're adults.
They don't have to ask Funimation every time,
They don't need fucking permission from mommy and daddy.
Invites them to do an interview. Like I never went to Funimation and say, "Hey, can I interview Chuck Huber?"
Exactly.
Can I interview this guest? Can I interview that?
No.
No. I never went. I just went directly to them.
Exactly. Go directly to them.
A booking agent. Yep.
Because if you go through the third party, they're going to make you jump through fucking hoops, and it's going to cost you money because they don't get paid if you go directly to the person.
Exactly.
Is what it comes down to. So,
but I mean, I had no other way to get to Aaron. That's the thing.
So why? Well, it's understandable. Back then, it would have been harder to. But what I don't understand is why is a logistics company doing this for Funimation? It's not even a parent company to them. They're just a contract company handling the logistics for Funimation at conventions. Why are they going out of their way to try and plant seeds, or seed the clouds, as it's called, which was this entire argument of what he was doing, by the way. He was seeding the clouds of Vic, he sued and he lost. And we don't know what happened, but something terrible could have happened. And we have friends, and those friends have friends, and if those friends have something happen, oh man, we just can't even fathom to think about what could happen. What the fuck is this? Like, did he get the script off of fucking Orson Welles? Like, what are we doing here?
He was skirting the lines of slander.
100%. 100%. Oh, it's not my opinion. It's not Mindy's opinion. It's not our opinion. Then whose opinion was it? Whose opinion were you reading off of that piece of paper, Chris? It's a good question, right?
Yeah.
So, for people wondering, if you're coming in late, and you want to catch up. We explained in the beginning, Conventions Etc. is where this person was from. Conventions Etc. is a logistics company that basically Funimation contracted to run their storefronts. So they would be the vendor. If you went to a convention and saw a Funimation booth, big flashy Funimation booth, all the DVDs for sale, big flashy kiosk that you could order DVDs from, and oh cool, I'm going to spend all my money on this. That was not actually Funimation. That was Conventions Etc. And the details for this, it's very hard to figure out, but from what I could gather on the internet searches, people, it's discernible. If you went to a Funimation booth when they were there, on the receipt heading, it was a company's name. I don't have it right in front of me at the moment, but that company is the basically parent company for Conventions Etc. And so that's how it's pieced together that Funimation was not actually handling their own booth. It was filtered through Conventions Etc. And it seems like they also, to some degree, were handling their clients while they were at the conventions. And they were their agents while they were at the conventions. So there was some degree of affiliation between Conventions Etc., the Chris person that was working there, and Funimation. To what degree, it's going to require a lot of sleuthing, and unfortunately, because the one company, Funimation, is no longer existing, it's Crunchyroll. And when, according to records, when Crunchyroll absorbed Funimation, the contract between Conventions Etc., the agreement was terminated, and they never used them again from that point forward.
Mm-hmm.
From what I can see on their website, they still offer the agency for a bunch of actors. Doesn't look like there's any notable voice actors that I can see on their website. But it appears that was what the working relationship between the two companies were. So my question then would be, why is a third-party company being instructed to some degree, because he didn't just pull this out of nowhere, why is a third-party company being instructed by Funimation at the time to do this? To tell people, like, a basic nobody being told, well, Vic lost a lawsuit and we don't know for sure, but something could have really bad have happened, and it's really like no one wants to associate with him because he sued Funimation and all these bad things. So no one's going to draw an inference here, right? Like this is, again, like Stan said, it's like this is pretty fucking slanderous.
And there is something I do want to mention here. I sent the call to Squally.
Yeah.
And she did share it with Vic.
Yeah. You're going to mention that. Go ahead.
And Vic was very confused because he had actually talked to Aaron a few weeks prior to that.
Yep.
He talked to Aaron, and it seemed like they were in good terms.
And they probably were.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably were. This loops back to what Stan was talking about earlier, which is why convention owners largely, if they can, corporate conventions, they have their own little agencies that they go through. But some of these smaller conventions that are able to directly contact the actors, this is why we contact the actors directly and don't talk to the agent, because the agent is like a filter. Oh no, there's ads going on. The agent is like a filter. And what we say to them, they'll be like, nope, I'm not going to pass that on. I'm not going to pass that along. And then it never gets to the actor. And then you can talk to the actor and be like, well, I've reached out to your agent for 6 months. I've been trying to get a hold of you. And they're like, well, I've never heard of that. Like, they never told me.
Which has happened.
It has happened.
In the case of Vic, it's happened where a agent told a convention that, oh, you just invited Vic, and my client doesn't want to be with said person
We
of the
usually,
show.
yeah,
And then it turns out that Vic never, the person never told their agent to say that.
exactly. We see that all the time. It's the inverse of what happened with Maxie, right? It's usually the agent being like, "Well, we can't have them associating with Vic Mignogna." No. But meanwhile, on the other side of this, wrapping it around to the Maxie Whitehead situation, the agent was like gung ho for this to happen. Yeah, let's do this. It's amazing. It's great. There's so much money. Blah blah blah. It's going to be great. Whatever else, be great for the fans, great for their pocket because it's like $10,000 guaranteed. But, you know, great for the fans for sure. Yeah, fans, $10,000. Yeah, awesome. But it was Maxie that pulled the plug on it. Why did Maxie pull the plug on it? Well, because she was getting pressured by other voice actors. We heard that confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
We heard that confirmed.
Yep.
Being pressured by other voice actors. So I wonder where all this is coming from. It was mentioned on that phone call from 3 years ago. Oh, he sued Funimation and he sued Funimation employees. He mentioned that a few times. He sued employees of Funimation. He sued Funimation employees. These people have friends. They have stories. They have stories.
Yep, they have stories. That's all they have is
all
stories.
they have.
Yep. That's all they got is stories.
And that was only 4 years removed. We're 7 years removed, and it's still going on. You know what doesn't exist anymore? Funimation doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But you know who does?
Crunchyroll.
And these stories still exist, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So who's telling them? It's obviously not Funimation.
The people who moved over from who are lucky enough to move over
Right?
to Crunchyroll.
Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it interesting after getting replaced in their own voice roles? When there's one bright spot for Vic in the past 7 years here, all of a sudden that gets attacked by the same people that had their roles replaced? A little bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder if Adam is still around.
I wonder.
'Cause Adam was asked about Vic.
Yeah. Isn't
And
it?
he was with Funimation before he moved over to Crunchyroll.
Sure was. This is why I wanted to bring this up. And this is why I wanted to review the call and talk to you guys about it and really just dig into the situation because, like, look, what is the motivation behind going after a voice actor who has not gone to a convention proper? I'm not talking about going to like corner stores or pop up or sticking a fucking camp chair in your front yard and signing autographs. I'm saying being invited to a convention proper, has not seen a convention in 11 years. What is the point of going after that person to the point where she retracts her invitation? Burns $10,000 to a crisp. What is the point of that?
All she had to do was do her panels.
Literally.
And she could have not done any autographs, and she would have been $10,000 richer.
$10,000.
Yeah, that's money that a lot of people, you know, that's not something to fathom on.
Right. Or she could have done autographs and probably made more than $10,000.
I made twice that much.
Or even $10,000.
3 times that much.
Whatever you want.
It's.
I mean, given what her autograph schedule or pay schedule was,
yeah,
it didn't take much.
No.
To make $10,000.
Nope. Really wouldn't have. Really not. It really
Just
wouldn't
her
have.
time.
250 people.
Because if you imagine,
$10,000.
it's just imagine for a second, Vic's lineup, right? Tons and 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 tons of people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they've gone and got a signature from Edward Elric. Well, Alphonse is in the same building. Get one from him. Well, her technically, but Alphonse.
Yep.
Get hit.
You
your
guys,
signature.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
You guys were at Vic's panel, right?
Yeah.
At Metrotham Con.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a little boy, and I think I've mentioned this before, like on my channel when I had Mark on. We talked about this. There was a little boy. He drove all. Well, I think he took a train. He took a train all the way from Chicago to meet Vic.
There you go.
And we had a turnout of over 4,000 people
It was tons.
that
A
year.
lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we had Vic, we had Chuck, we had Kevin's fucking Sorbo.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorbo, yep.
Quentin
I
Flynn.
mean, Quentin Flynn.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yep.
The
Like-
Black Ranger.
Hell, Sorbo was talking shop with Vic.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Came over and started talking about the business and talk about future business.
Yeah.
He brought his daughter over to get a autograph from Vic.
Like, it was listening to this phone call was painful because it brought up a lot of fucking old wounds. And it really just like, I know that we talked about it a lot, we speculated a lot about it, and we joked a lot about like the Funimation Mafia and shit back in the day. But there was never really a smoking gun, right? There was never really outside of a bunch of very weird fat people on Twitter. I'm fine with cool fat people, you know. Hey Trevella, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm cool. I'm fine with cool fat people. I'm cool with funny fat people. I'm not cool with weird fat people on Twitter. All right, especially the on Twitter part. But that was only coming from them. We never really had a source of like, all right, well, there is actually shit happening, right? There's actually a tie to Funimation that is like, there is a war call. Because we assume that there's going to be one, but can you prove it? It's right there, but just can't prove it, right? Now we have one we have one now. We have one 3 years later, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
We have the evidence showing that yes, Funimation had been pressuring, Funimation had been directing people to do this. Not just Funimation, but the voice actors within Funimation, which I'm sure were the driving cause behind this, with their own hands on the gonads of whoever in Funimation to force this issue. Because why would Funimation care if their independent contractors are doing things with people that they don't like? Why would a voice actor care if someone takes an interview with them and puts them in a collage, like a fucking documentary with someone else? That makes zero sense to me. It makes a lot more sense when you have a driving force that's actively threatening people, or, you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wake up with a horse head in your fucking bed. That's one step closer to being a little bit more of a reality now. Third-party random logistics company blowing smoke for Funimation to the general public. Now, the only thing that I'm sad about, Pirate, is that it took this long for the phone call to come out. I understand your reasoning.
Yeah.
I understand your reasoning.
I thought they were going to use it for something. I don't know why they held on to it for that long.
At that point, with the lawsuit coming to an end, right? It was a sore point for everybody. It was deflating for a lot of individuals that had been spending many, many, many years, myself included, fighting for Vic, fighting on behalf of Vic. And there was a lot of stuff that happened around that time as well, where the call out was to let's just forget everything that happened and move on, and don't be mean to people, and everyone just love in. And that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way too back then. I was always the proponent that we have to just go fucking scorched earth on these lunatics. There is no being nice.
No.
There is no being nice to people and being reasonable to people that are unreasonable and that are never going to be nice.
Yep, particularly when they're ready to kill you.
Yeah.
Stab you in the back.
And and we have it. 3 years ago, you had it. 3 years ago, we showed they are not. This was never about healing for them. This was never about making things right. This was about vengeance. And it still clearly is 3 years later when we're attacking the only convention that Maxie Whitehead has seen in 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And the question is, like, who else are they doing it to? Because clearly everyone's falling in line. I've talked to a number of voice actors who do not want to be named that are fearful if they say anything, they will be written off the face of the earth.
Same.
Yep.
And I mean, I got stories, but it's not mine to share.
It's not yours to tell, yeah. And it's like, I have integrity for that stuff. I'm not going to share that stuff because these people haven't done anything. The only thing wrong that they've done is listen to these lunatics. I cannot implore people enough. Because again, in grand scheme of things, I'm a fucking nobody. I'm a member of the general public. But sometimes I say some smart things. People tend to forget. This didn't come up because Monica had some, I'm going to have a hero moment. No. It came up because Vic was the star of a fucking movie. People forget that point. The entire reason this all came out was because Vic headlined the Broly movie.
Yep.
That's it.
Because none of this was brought up before then.
Nope. Wasn't.
And it exploded afterwards.
Yeah.
That's why I knew that is a load of bullshit. And I've heard stories like this before.
Yeah.
It happens way too often. I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, you see, a celebrity, star in a big movie, and then, controversy.
Yeah. It only came out because of that movie. It could have come out before the movie. It didn't. It came out on the premiere. After the premiere of the movie.
After the premiere.
They were buddy right up until then. All of a sudden couldn't bear.
Got to walk the red carpet and then boom.
Couldn't bear to be around him. Couldn't bear to be in the same hemisphere as him. Couldn't deal with it. Shook you to your core. Hard fact. What the fuck are we talking about? They were perfectly fine until they didn't get what they wanted. And then they needed a body.
No, we can't make him a director. I mean, he'd be in charge of us.
Right? Yeah, that people forget that part too.
Oh, and on top of that, he dumped my best friend.
Yeah.
We need to make him pay.
Yeah. That's what this is all about. It's not about a jelly bean joke.
Not that he didn't make her whole
right?
before he left her.
Yeah.
Like got her signed up for a place where she could live.
Got her a job.
Probably got her another job because she messed up the last job.
Yeah.
Such a bad person.
It was never about a jelly bean joke. It was never about a consensual interaction outside of a convention after hours that wasn't even anything to do with the Funimation event, period. It wasn't about touching Jamie Markey's hair. It was never about any of those. It was never about a consensual kiss between coworkers. Never about any of that. Despite what people would love to say and make all of these situations out to be like he literally burnt a fucking orphanage down while locking more children in the orphanage that weren't there to begin with. Like, what are we talking about? The things that were mentioned in the Funimation investigation were laughable.
Mm-hmm. Because they had to find something.
Which they didn't even find anything.
Exactly. So they made something up.
And so now we have quote unquote stories that
What
are
those stories?
unverifiable. And we're operating in a fantasy world still 7 years later.
Yep.
Vic gave me a hug.
He said hello to me in the elevator. I couldn't get away.
That's the nature of elevators. That's a funny thing, right? It's the funny thing about elevators. If you get on an elevator willingly with somebody else, there's a button you can press. If someone walks onto the elevator, say you get on an elevator and like the raunchiest fucking smelling person comes on, like a Yu-Gi-Oh player comes on the elevator with you.
Why a Yu-Gi-Oh player?
Statistically likely to be.
Throwing you. I would have said I would say a gamer. Sorry.
Just say Magic the Gathering, okay?
Magic the Gathering. Okay, well, no.
Stop right there. Going to the third
They
floor.
have stories, though. I'm just curious what those stories are, though.
If you don't want to be in an elevator with someone, just get off the fucking elevator.
Yeah, just have you seen the movie called The Devil Inside, or it's called The Devil? It's about people getting stuck in an elevator. It's a stupid movie, but it's just...
Oh yeah, I think I remember that one. That was funny, actually.
Yeah, The Devil.
Yeah.
It's called Chapter of the Devil or something.
Devil Inside. I think it's Devil
that.
Inside. I think it was.
Yeah, it's where they get trapped in an elevator with somebody.
Yeah, there's like seven or eight people in the elevator, and like one of them was possessed by a demon.
You got to kill one of them.
And it was like the entire movie was just shot in the elevator while crews were trying to it was like those types of movies are really good because it's all psychological and it comes down to how good the actors are at making the situation believable. It was a fantastic one. Like that one.
But that's what it sounds like when they tell these stories. It sounds like a movie.
It is
plot of a movie.
It is just a movie they've fucking dreamt up. Like, well, they have stories. Those stories could hurt people. It sounds to me like these people should never leave their goddamn house because, a fucking rock from space could potentially fall and smack them in the fucking forehead and send them careening into the fucking traffic. Like, let's go full crazy. Like, I might walk down the street and there could be a cat that runs in front of me and trips me and I could fall and then a bus comes along and crushes my head. Then just don't leave your fucking house. Just don't leave your house. There is nothing that came out from any source of information, period. From Funimation, from the bullshit that came out of Marky's mouth, from the bullshit that come out of Monica's mouth. I fucking talked to Ron for fucking 12 goddamn hours. There was
Oh,
not
God.
a single fucking time that he brought up anything at all that was relevant to anything, period.
I feel bad for you. You talked to him for 12
Oh,
hours.
fucking believe me.
And then lost his goddamn mind, went on his own and brought my name
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So like,
And when I heard that, I'm like, "Oh, really, Ron?"
and you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Out of all of the stories Ron had brought up, the story about the laptop is true. And I can tell you how I know that. Because I interviewed the person he fucking gave it to.
Mm-hmm.
So let me, like, out of everything, out of all of these fucking scenarios that they've come up with, out of fucking literally goddamn everything that's come out of their mouth, the one verifiable fucking story was that he gave a fucking new laptop to someone because she broke her laptop.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I didn't even know who it was. It was a by chance interview that I had one time, and she told me a story about how he gave her a fucking laptop at a convention. She didn't even ask for it. She's like, "Oh man, my laptop, like it won't charge." And he's like, "Here you go, have a free laptop." Like, out of everything, out of every fucking story that they've talked about, how the fuck was that the one story I could actually verify randomly?
Wow.
You're a great detective.
I'm an amazing
You really
detective.
It just fell in your lap.
Just fell in my lap. I mean,
But that's the thing, like, it's like, you know,
don't call me a dick for no
they'll
reason.
deny it and everything, and they'll, you know, like, people will just try to say that you're lying or,
Yeah.
you know, that's not true or this and that.
Crumb using detect.
You need to get a detective outfit
God.
for your VTuber model.
I do. I do. It's just like, out of every, like, and this is what I'm talking, like, this is what I mean about, like, if there was a kernel of fucking truth to any of these goddamn quote unquote stories, they would just randomly come out. Somebody somewhere would have information corroborating it, but it never has. It's never come out. Ever. 7 years and counting.
Their story comes out, and the corroborating evidence that people have found disputes what they said.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Yet they'll say, they'll lie under their breath and say, "Oh, you're lying," and you know, and then try to send you a link to 11-hour video.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Arms girl.
Good God. That's a name I did not want to hear again.
Sorry.
Like,
I would rather listen to Jamie and Monica's podcast
oh, fuck.
than listen to Arms Girl.
How long did that last? 1.5 episodes?
Yeah.
Yep. And it was a lot shorter than 11 hours.
Yeah. I think I had a longer interview with Ron than they had their podcast.
Yeah,
It's actually sad.
it is. Like, they only had 2 episodes, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Sort of 1.5.
1.5 episodes, basically.
1.5. They were going to talk about the whole trial and everything. And
We're going to talk about it. We're going to release all the information. There's so much information you don't know. We're going to talk about it. Never did. Never did.
Never did. Did question and answer period on the last one, and didn't really answer any really hard hitting questions.
No. It's like a lot of that stuff. Like we put it behind us years ago, but it's so fascinating when you look back at it in just like under the microscope in its little microcosm. We're seeing more details now. And it's more pushing in the direction that this was just a group of people that had somebody in Funimation, high up in Funimation by the fucking balls, that sent out a fucking directive to everyone. And that this was never about healing, this was never about moving on, this was about doing everything and using every avenue in their fucking power to destroy a person.
And probably continue to
And
destroy that
continue.
person.
until the person, just ends it.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Literally. It was.
And
I
he's not
tell you,
going to.
folks, but you failed. You failed miserably.
Yeah. It was never.
Oh, yeah.
It was never about healing. It was never about moving on. Because I can tell you what, 7 years later, we're still getting lunatics going off on this on Twitter after conventions, after voice actors. That's not moving on.
Mm-mm.
It's not healing. I don't know.
Yep. And the only way that would help eliminate all this is if that side, meaning the voice actors,
Yeah.
grow a pair and came online and said, knock it off.
Yep.
But they're not going to do that.
They're not going to.
Nope.
I like the aside that he made in that call. Chris made in the call too. Oh, he goes lots to conventions. He goes to a lot of conventions, and there's plenty of voice actors that go with him. There's some that don't. There's plenty that do. The ones that do don't listen because you can't control them.
Yeah, particularly the West Coast ones.
Right.
The West Coast actors hate you Crunchyroll actors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking.
Yep.
Well, that was what I wanted to cover today and discuss. I'm gonna leave the floor to you guys if you have anything that you needed to bring up or anything we didn't touch upon. We'll start with Stan. We'll end with Pirate. Go ahead, Stan. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about?
I'm shocked by the phone call, but we still see. Not see, but I hear that there are people who are still doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about in the business sense.
Yeah.
They're telling conventions not to invite Vic and that they threaten to pull their talent from conventions and that's why I always say that to convention owners, you run your convention, they don't.
Exactly.
And then put it in the contract. If they really want to put that caveat, force you to put that caveat in their contracts and make you sign it, call their bluff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then, because I know there are a couple of conventions owners that are seriously contemplating taking action against one particular talent agency because they've been acting like that in that way, being snarky and and demanding about who they can and cannot have at their shows, and then they're also attacking other talent agencies, basically trying to kill off their competition. And I'm like, well, why are you trying to do that? You don't have their actors
exactly
as your clients unless you're trying to steal their clients. So
that sounds like a fun topic for another day. That's interesting.
I know that there's one voice actor who's not been in the business in a while, hasn't done that, had opened their own talent agency,
Mhm.
and had told Vic that this other talent agency has been saying stuff about Vic and then trying to steal some of their clients.
You know,
So
if we would just as a fucking planet grow a goddamn spine and blast this shit out, you would never see this shit happen ever again. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you never say anything that you don't mean, you always say something you mean, you never have to regret shit coming out. Never have to regret things coming out.
yep, that's all I have.
All right, Pirate.
You know, and I agree with you, Stan. I do. I mean, like I've not dug into this drama in a while. Like I thought I was out of it. I really did.
Me
because,
too, honestly.
I mean, it's been going on so long, you know. I mean, I've had a cat die. I mean,
Oh, that's always rough.
it's, you know,
But I mean,
but
cats
it's
do live
always
a
on
long
the
time as
timeline.
well. So like, it goes to show you how
Yeah.
long it's been going on. But carry on.
Yeah. But I mean, it just amazes me how far people are still going with this, and you know, it's like that's all they have. They ain't got
Literally
nothing
is.
else.
Literally is.
Sad.
And you know, I've been trying to build my channel. You know,
Mhm.
I'm trying to. I'm still a nobody, but
You, me both.
I want to be nobody with a brand. You know, with something at least.
You have a question there in the chat, there, Pirate.
I do.
Vic's reaction. I think we were during the
Oh,
ad
Vic's
break.
reaction.
We
Oh,
got
I'm
cut off.
sorry. Well, let me sort of go back on this. So, Vic's reaction, he was confused, like how we are, because he's had conversations with Aaron.
Mhm.
Like, I guess, I think he told me they were still friends. I mean, I've not talked to Vic in a long time. I've emailed him. He's not emailed me back. But I assumed, you know, that's the only way I've ever talked to Vic is through email. Or when I'm at a convention, you know, and I mean, I hung out with, you know, Vic, you know, like during Metrotham Con.
Mhm.
We actually went to karaoke.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have that video of Vic singing, you know, Piano Man. It's on my channel. Vic has a good voice.
Mhm.
Like, just like, he's got a good singing voice. And, you know, that's just like what you see in those videos that I've recorded with Vic. That's how he is. That's genuine. That's genuinely how he is. Yes, he drinks. Because I remember like you guys were right across the table and he had like a mason, I think it was a mason jar of gin. He had an actual mason jar of gin, and he was carrying around with him around the lobby and everything. It was just funny.
That's awesome.
Like this tiny little mason jar.
Yep. That was given to him by a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me, but it's like, you
Back
know,
then, but
I've never seen him drink.
yeah, I've seen him drink, but he is not an alcoholic.
No,
No.
he drinks in moderation. For sure.
He
Moderate
drinks in
drinker.
moderation, and his preferred. Well, I can't even think of what his preferred drink is.
I think scotch.
No,
Is it?
no, no. I mean, he's had scotch before, but that's not his. That is not his go-to drink. But anyway, he's not an alcoholic, so he
No.
doesn't.
No.
he doesn't-
No, and there's nothing wrong with it as long as you
No.
moderate it and, you know.
Yeah, and he's had a cigar from time to
Yep.
time.
Mhm.
But I mean, the way you see Vic in my videos, there's no editing trick or anything going on. Like, that's how he is. And the fact that these people are still painting him like he's this monster, I bet you they haven't seen my videos.
It's because that's all they can do.
Yep. And you notice there's no video of him in a negative way.
There's one video
None.
of him saying a dad joke, but
Yeah,
that everybody
that's a
took
joke.
wrong.
Yeah,
It's a joke.
it's a joke.
I've made dad jokes. Everybody has, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
If you haven't, then you're not funny. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's like my I'll just end it with this. I'll
Mhm.
say this. Like, there is no moving on. There really isn't.
No, there isn't.
And I'm with Crimby on this, that we just need to go full scorch earth,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the only way. And it's their fault.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be nice to them no more,
No point. No point in being nice to them.
because they already painted you as a monster.
Mm-hmm. And that's the big thing, right? At the end of the day, it's I've been in the middle of this shit before, and I know that they will never give up. They will never let go, because I like to point out episode of King of the Hill when Bill Dauterive dresses up like Santa Claus for Christmas, and he gets all the adoration, and he's loving it, and everyone's paying attention to him and praising him and everything like that. And then it's no longer Christmas, but he still dresses up like Santa Claus for many, many months afterwards. And everyone thinks it's really fucking weird, because it's been the only time that he got that attention. And that is what these people are. There's a bunch of that going on right now. The lawsuit for Funimation and all that stuff, people were covering it, people were involved with it. It is the only time these individuals have been relevant in their entire fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what they grasp onto. That was their magnum opus. That was it. And unfortunately, unlike the actor that died at the magnum opus convention, they did not pass away yet. So they're continuing to fucking hold on and latch on to the only thing that they have ever been relevant for. Which is, it's sad, but the time for pity, the time for remorse, the time for, like, whatever you want to include there, it's over. There is no walking this back. There is no forgiveness here. This is a wound that has been festering for 7 years. It's not healing. It's never going to heal.
Yep.
I mean, we tried.
People tried.
We tried.
People tried, for sure. But at the end of the day, this is the takeaway here, guys. It's my life rule. If you are going to fucking do or say something that you regret, then just don't do it. Live with intention. Mean what you say what you mean, live what you mean. Because you'll never have regrets. You won't have blackmailing. Like, you won't have people being like, well, I'm going to bring this out about you. Go ahead. I'll fucking tell them myself.
Yep. Steal their power.
Take
That's what
the power
they try to do to me.
away. Because that's all these weirdos have. As you can see, like Chris mentioned on the phone call from Conventions Etc. Chris from Conventions Etc. mentioned, Vic goes to conventions. There's plenty of actors and voice actors that go there with him. So their careers haven't been destroyed. They're not being threatened. They're not having their houses repossessed, their family killed. So why do you think it's going to happen to you? Because you're allowing that power to be taken over you. Take the power back. Live with intention. stop letting these people run your life. That's what I got to say about that. So, Pirate, Stan, thank you guys both for being on the show. I really appreciate you and spending your time on this Saturday evening with me. Are there any
Good to talk
shout-outs?
to you, as long as it's not something we have to constantly talk about.
Right.
These god-awful people.
God-awful people. Hopefully we can have other fun conversations too. We can do this. Is there any shout-outs that either of you want to do before we end?
Shout out to the Anime Collector who has a very detailed coverage of the Vic saga.
Mhm.
So on his channel, if you wanted to get the background information on a deep dive on what all parties had said
Absolutely.
during, after, and then some on the Vic saga, I recommend going to his channel and taking the deep dive, and just be aware that his show is very, very long. His episodes are very long.
They are, yeah. It's fun though. They have a good time on there.
Yeah.
And I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, go for it. Anybody want to shout out?
Well,
Yeah, I do.
Well, I have my YouTube channel, obviously Pirate Canvas.
There you go.
On there. I've not really been working on anything at the moment because I've been at work, but I'm hoping I can get some reviews and stuff done. That's mostly all I do. I don't usually talk about drama and stuff. I've given that up. But I mean, I also do live streams on Twitch, Pirate Canvas, Twitch, and well, I mean, that's pretty much it. Well, actually, no. I also published an indie game, horror game,
Excellent. Okay.
which is Night of the Abbatoir Man.
Yeah.
It's on Steam, and
Ooh.
it's free to play. And I would appreciate it if you guys, checked it out. It's a game that me and my friend Knuckles worked on, and I'd like to send more love, for that, because that's mostly what I've been doing.
There you go.
Is I've been putting more of my focus on something that I actually love, which I wish these people would do.
That's what people should be doing. If you send me that link, if you're not in the chat in Twitch, I can send it for you, and I can include that on the YouTube in the description
Alright.
as well. So
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, it's a good game. I mean, it's a lot. It's basically like a Commodore, like it's an RPG Maker game,
that's cool.
but it's basically you have a killer chasing after you, and you have to hide, and there's multiple endings, and the story isn't really meant to be taken that seriously. So it's funny,
That's awesome.
but yeah, here it is.
All right. So, guys, if you have not, this also looks really cool. So check it out. I'm gonna post it in the. I'm gonna post in the chat there. It'll be in the description for YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube later, it'll be down in the description below. Go check it out. I want to support people's passions, because we've spent enough time focusing on people trying to people tearing shit down. Time to build people up. That's what it's always been about. It should have been about the entire time. So once again, thank you, Pirate Canvas. Lowit, you got about 30 seconds. I can answer your question that you want me to ask. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to respond to you in the chat after we go offline. But yeah, I mean, this has been. Oh, I already answered the question. Perfect. There we go. I'm not good.
Didn't know you answered.
I'm not good. I used detect. Boom. There we go.
Boom.
All right. Well, I appreciate all of the people viewing, watching at home. If you're watching this live, you guys are amazing. Oh, by the way, Crumrion, can you answer one question for me? Is a question. That is true. You're right. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I appreciate all of you watching home. The interactivity on chat's been awesome. If you guys are enjoying this, like I'm really enjoying this format of doing the Canuckleheads live on Twitch and then having the YouTube video afterwards. So if you're watching on YouTube, you have comments, please be sure to like and subscribe. Leave comments down below. If you have additions that you want to make to the broadcast, certainly we'll enjoy that. I respond to all the comments that are made anyways. So, all right, folks, that's going to do it for us. It's been a lovely 2 hours with you gentlemen. Thank you once again, Pirate and Stan, for joining me. And chat.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And chat, as always, keep your stick on the ice. We'll see you in the next one.